of direct admissions. As always, I have my co-pilots, Wendy and Sally, with me. I'm going to turn it over to Wendy to get us started.
Awesome. Well, hey, welcome everybody. We're really glad that you're here. We have a pretty packed agenda today and lots of great information, so I'll keep my remarks pretty brief. But I just want to say that I'm really excited that we're moving into year 2 of direct admissions. I was doing a little bit of reflection on how the first year of this program went, and I think it was a true pilot year. We had learned some good things. We had some really powerful conversations with high school and counselors and college and university staff. I don't want to speak for my co-pilots, but I will say I got teary on more than one occasion hearing one of the amazing stories from a student who was really powerfully impacted by direct admissions. I would also say that I don't think I've ever been part of a project that has gotten this much national attention before, or where I've been called by as many other states to find out what we're doing, how we're doing it, how it's going. And truly, this is not a program that OHE could do alone. The success of this program really relies on our ability to provide support and connection with our high school partners, with our college and university partners, and for this to really be a cross-sectional collaboration for the benefit of our high school seniors. And so we are just thankful for those of you who've already been part of the project. We're excited to work with those of you who are coming on board for the first time. And we just really hope that this hour-long session today will be a really good jump start to year 2 of a pretty exciting pilot for us. So I'll turn it back over, and I'll also say, we'll say this probably a couple times, we're here to help. We're here for questions. We know that there'll be questions that come up after the session. And so, feel free to put questions in the chat or connect with us afterwards if you need to.
Thank you, Wendy. And I want to make sure we have time for our other OHE staff members. So Sally, Kat, and Sarah. Sally, take it away.
Hello, everyone. I am Sally Krieger-Constantine, the Direct Admissions Coordinator. For those of you who I've worked with before, I'm excited to work with you again, and I am equally excited to work with all the new people who are joining us this year. So welcome.
I'll go ahead and introduce myself. I'm Sarah Berghart. I'm a communications coordinator here at OHE, and I work on the marketing side of direct admissions, so developing a lot of the marketing materials that you guys will use to promote the program. So welcome everybody to direct admissions.
And Kat, are you online? I saw Kat's chat, but I didn't see her picture.
She is here.
There she is. Hi, Kat.
Hello, everybody. My name is Kat, and I'm right next to Sarah, as you can see. I'm the Outreach and Communications Coordinator at the Minnesota Office of Higher Education, and I will turn it back over. Thank you.
Kat is our contact for Minnesota Goes to College. So she's one of our fabulous liaisons. So welcome, everybody. We do have a packed hour, and I really appreciate you giving us an hour of your already probably overpacked school day during May. So we'll go ahead and just jump right in. This is meant to be a high-level introduction. And so just so you know, there will be some follow-up. 1 second. I'm in annotation mode. So let me just, did my screen just go away? Oh, we love technology. All right, let's try this again. Thumbs up. All right. So for those of you just joining, we did have an introduction and a challenge. I forgot to update this slide. We're going to do a project overview and background. We have a couple of videos we want to share with you that are made available to you if you want to share them with student, staff, and community members. We're going to go a high-level overview of the work plan, because I know the number one question for high schools who've just joined is, what do we do and when is it due by? So we're going to go over that, but we will let you know there's additional information coming your way. And then we're going to take a brief break for some fun, and then we'll go over some communications resources, and we're going to break out into rooms to answer questions before we come back and do some concluding. So with that, we're going to jump in. And Sarah, I thought we'd start off by just showing you Direct Admissions Juniors, our brand new video. And with every video, the sound never works. So Sarah's going to put the link in the chat for us. And we're going to try and see if I can play it and you have sound. This never works, but we'll try. All right, so I need a thumbs up if we have sound.
No sound at my end.
Yeah, the sound went away, Meredith.
I did nothing. Okay, no sound. All right, let's try again. Second time's going to be the charm, right? And we're going to swap. Let's see, stop, share. Ready? Let's try again. Sound.
Sharing and no sound.
No.
I do
All right,
have.
one more time. Did we have sound?
I have sound. Lori Anderson, I have sound.
Thumbs up, thumbs down. All right, I'm going to claim that I can't get it, OHE staff. Take it away, whoever can make this work. Communications, any chance? Why doesn't WebEx like video? Explain this to me. All right.
Yeah, I don't think we're going to be able to get it to work, but we do have the link in the chat here if everybody wants to click on it and watch it later. And it's also included in the communications toolkit, so you'll have access to it later as well. So we can move on to the next agenda item.
Charles, thank you for your, okay. Charles, actually, we found it. Thank you, Charles, for your instructions. You are awesome. Are you ready? We're going to try this one more time. Rewind.
You are college ready. Hey Rising Seniors, Minnesota colleges and universities are ready to welcome you in the fall after high school. And it all starts with direct admissions.
So what is direct admissions?
Your high school is part of a new state program that saves you a seat at college campuses around the state.
Through direct admissions, over 50 Minnesota colleges and universities will review your academic records and will let you know that they are ready to admit you.
Your college application process will be a breeze.
From 2-year, tribal, technical, and 4-year colleges, all with excellent certificate and degree programs to jumpstart your career, there are so many options for you to select from.
Here's how it works. Step 1, be ready. This fall, you will receive your personalized list with the names of each college that is committed to admitting you. Once you receive your list, read through all of the colleges. That's right, all of these colleges are offering you admission. After reviewing your list, you can really see yourself attending College A, College B, and College C. Now for step 2, you are ready to move forward and apply to your top colleges. You let your top colleges know that you are ready to move forward by checking yes on your list. Now watch your email inbox. You receive application links to your 3 colleges in your email. And be sure to complete an application for each school. And guess what? Through direct admissions, all applications are free. That's right, it's free to apply. After you submit your free applications, you receive your official acceptance letters from your selected colleges. This is how direct admissions will work for you in the fall. No more wondering, will I get in? With direct admissions, you can apply with confidence because you already know the answer. Yes, you will. Because application deadlines are different for each college. Make sure you apply to your top choices before it's too late. So take advantage of direct admissions by submitting your applications early to officially secure your spot. Now for step 3, fill out the FAFSA. Feel like you can't afford college? You are not alone. Paying for college is a common concern. But remember, most students are eligible for financial aid. So it's important to complete your FAFSA and explore scholarship and grant options. By applying for college and completing your FAFSA early, you'll increase your financial aid and scholarship opportunities. You are college ready, and you can explore your options. There are over 50 colleges and universities that are participating in direct admissions, but you can still apply to other schools too. With so many areas of study, campus locations, certificate or degree award timelines, and class sizes, a great place to explore your many options is My Higher Ed. Use our college search tool to find your best match for your educational and career goals. Compare your options, access personalized insights on financial aid, and make the right decision for your future. Remember, you are college ready, and you are college bound. The final step is to attend college next fall.
So let's do a quick recap.
First, you'll review your personalized list of colleges.
Second, apply to the top colleges of your choice for free.
Third, fill out the FAFSA, find scholarship opportunities, research college programs, and make the decision that's right for you.
Finally, attend college next fall. You are college ready.
You are college ready.
You are college ready.
You are college ready, and you are starting your higher education journey with direct admissions.
All right, thank you, everybody. Stop sharing.
I do want to give a quick shout out to Jefferson High School for those student volunteers that were featured in the video. Counselor Becky Wallerick worked with us to get some students to narrate, so they are real direct admissions participants and benefited from the program, and they were really excited to be a part of this. So thank you, Jefferson High School.
Thank you. So we're super excited. So just as a welcome to direct admissions, we just want to kind of remind you that the goal is for all students to think of themselves as college material. And by college, we pretty much mean any form of post-high school education and training. Many of our colleges offer workforce training, and so it's really kind of cool to keep students thinking about the wide range of options that are before them. The goal is to make sure to reduce anxiety around that will I get in question and encourage exploration. It's not meant to take over what you do in terms of college exploration activities, but rather to spark and supplement those activities. As of last night, we have 55 participating colleges next year. We have added Bethel University, Metropolitan State University, Northwestern Health Sciences University, and the University of Minnesota Rochester. So welcome to those staff for whom this is their first direct admissions meeting as well. As of this morning, we have 129 high schools participating, 23,669 students. 43% of those are Black, Indigenous, and students of color, and more than a third are free or reduced price meal eligible students. So as of 11th grade. So we are super excited about that. Matthew has a question, and Sally, I have been prompted to please turn on closed captioning. But Matthew, you have a question?
Matthew just fails to hit the cute little digits at the bottom. I meant to clap, and I raised my hand instead. I'm a tech novice. Thank you.
We'll take either. So thank you. Why direct admissions? So I want to thank Sarah for putting together this second video now that we've gotten instructions on how to play videos. And so I'm going to start that one for a second. This one's much shorter, but we want to get you excited with some of these communications materials that you will be able to distribute as well to students. I have lost my sharing buttons. Hold on. Whoops, I shared the wrong screen. Hold on one second. It has been a very long day, so let's see. Microsoft Edge.
You need to get up a little closer. You can't be so far behind. People are going to get rear-ended.
I would say it was a big stress reliever. As a senior, I feel like all seniors worry if their grades or their GPA is high enough to get into colleges. And for some of us, applying it's a little different with deadlines. And so when you get there and towards the end of your years, you might not have heard back from the colleges, which I feel like is a bit worrisome for some of us. But with direct admissions, it was such an early acceptance that I felt so relieved, and I could go through the rest of my senior year being calm about not worrying about turning in my college essays or having to figure out if I got into a college or not. So it was really nice.
It was really, really nice to know that those were free applications, because applications can be really expensive, especially if you're someone like me who wanted to apply to like 5 or 6 colleges and they all had application fees. It was really nice to have those colleges that were also my top choice where it was free to apply.
Definitely did give me more confidence in believing that those schools that even aren't participating in direct admissions would still hopefully see me as an option, as like a solid student to go to their school. So.
All right. So that's just a little bit of the introduction to direct admissions. Let me just pop back over. Without the PowerPoint, I'm lost in today's presentation. So even though I drafted it. So just a little bit more about the overview. We are excited for you to send that personalized communication that was kind of shown in the videos to the students. Our goal is to get all communication out between August and October 31st of this year. So that is kind of new. Last year, it took us a little bit longer. Thank you, St. Paul, for going out after New Year's, but we're going to try and get you all in the fall timeframe so students have as much time as possible. The list, you will receive a list of all 55 colleges and universities that are participating, as well as the academic criteria they're requiring for participation. So you will have that information up front. And we have not changed what the criteria are for students to participate. So we are going to be looking at their unweighted cumulative GPA on a 4.0 scale, and then their core course grades from 10th and 11th grade math, English, and science. That has not changed for this year. Direct admissions, there are some caveats to it. It applies to general admission or to the admissions to the programs that are listed. Northwestern Health Sciences and Minneapolis College of Art and Design have some very specific programs they're admitting to. But if a student wants to be admitted to a very specific program, such as nursing or a program that may be high demand, there may be some additional requirements that direct admissions doesn't cover. So make sure students know which program they want to apply to. All students participating should be on track to graduate in spring of 2024. And so they should be automatically included. However, if at any time a student enrolls in your school mid-year or actually catches up and is on track at a later point in the year, they can be added to direct admissions at any time. So we want this to be as widely available as possible. For schools that used the Google form version to send out notifications last year, you kind of see a picture of it on the right there. And with a list of colleges, and all students do is check a yes box if they want to be directly admitted. This year, we are adding a slightly different step. So many colleges we have a request from some colleges to actually skip the admissions application questionnaire. To do that, we're actually going to be asking students to volunteer some additional information. It's largely contact information, a cell phone number, a home address. We don't want the schools to have to disclose that, but rather are asking the students to voluntarily disclose it to the colleges so that the colleges are better able to contact them and can possibly skip completing that full application. We won't have confirmation on whether we can skip the application until the colleges finish their review. Believe it or not, we have to get permission to do this from some of the system offices. And so we hope to have that in place by the end of June. We'll know for sure. So we're super excited. All right. I think I've pretty much covered everything here. Colleges have opted into an academic tier. I should say most colleges have opted into an academic tier. 8 of them got a reminder from me just prior to this email that they have not yet chosen an academic tier. And so make sure that if you got an email from me in your college, that I do need you to complete that academic tier survey. And that, oh, look, I forgot to change that year. And again, we will be nudging students to complete the FAFSA, and as part of our legislative funding this year, we are going to be including some financial aid information to be sent to all of you. That's going to be a little more personalized than what you may have seen in the past. Not personalized in terms of the actual student name, but personalized in terms of some easy to look up tables based on household size and income. And so we're super excited about that. This is currently the list of colleges by academic tier. We have 55 participating. For the 8 that did not respond to my survey, I put them in the same tier they were in last year. So this should be pretty close. We do have 29 of our community and technical colleges and tribal colleges in tier 1. There are 3 colleges in tier 2, and then all the way up, we now have 4 colleges in tier 6. You should know that some colleges have changed tiers. So the 4 colleges in the tier 6 are not necessarily the same as the colleges that were in that tier last year. And we should have this finalized this week. So we should be able to get this information out to you. All right. In terms of work planning, what needs to be done? This is the #1 question we always get at this point in the year. So the good news is there's not a lot to be done for high schools in terms of May. So we are going to send out the communications materials to you if you want to start sharing them with your juniors. And then I'm going to bug your principal or superintendent to sign the needed contracts and forms, a data sharing agreement, and a joint powers agreement for funding. And then we're going to start to provide some training on how to do that academic review. Those are the main key steps from now until the end of June. You're not going to be able to do pretty much any of the academic review until those June grades are finalized. So this is pretty much our window for training and setup. In June, July, or August, and again, we're going to go according to your schedule. Some of you are available in July, some of you are off contract in July. We perfectly understand that and respect your timeframes. But we'll walk you through doing the academic review using the data from your student information systems. We'll also make sure that you know which promotional materials are available and you can order them, and we'll make sure those are shipped to you prior to the school year starting. Also, we will work with your principal or superintendent and keep you in the loop on the FERPA notification that has to go out to parents in order for the program to be launched. And so those are kind of the big June, July, and August tasks. We'll also test, make sure all your emails are ready to go. But again, usually that's more behind the scenes work with your tech directors or whoever's going to be working on that. And then again, in August, September, and October, we want you to send letters and emails out. There is a difference this year. We are asking you to do 2 things. We are asking you to send a paper letter to the student's home for the student that will actually nudge them to check their school email. Last year, we found that students aren't opening school emails. I'm sure you guys complain about this a lot when you send them something over email, right? We learned our lesson as well. And so they'll get a letter to their home address that will give you a draft of to send out. And remember, direct admissions will provide funding to reimburse you for any of those costs. That will nudge them to follow up with their school email and do the steps that are in that email. We'll also make sure that you have the email template, and we'll work with your student information system or Google Forms to send that out. The direct admissions notification is actually just an embedded survey in an email. It's actually really simple to set up. You can use Infinite Campus, you can use Google Forms, you can use Naviance. There's a number of ways we can set it up for your school. And then you're going to do what you always do with your high school seniors, right? Nudge, 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 nag, 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 remind, remind, remind. That part of the process probably won't change, but hopefully if we help you get a stronger start to the school year, maybe we'll save you some time there as well. And we will follow up with a more detailed version of work to be done. Funding, this is the big decision. You should know that as of last week, the legislature has passed funding, which included for higher education, which included direct admissions. We have changed the funding levels given the number of schools that have come in this year. All schools are guaranteed at least $2,500 in funding. Most schools will actually receive $5,000, and if you're on the larger side, we have a $7,500 and $10,000 level. If you are a school that does not have an electronic transcript or is incurring some other additional costs beyond just basic staffing and setup, you can make a special request, and we have some additional funds to kind of help offset those costs as well. So we understand that not all schools are alike, but that we'll try and accommodate you best we can based on your needs. And the funding, the good news is the funding, we've loosened up the restrictions. You will no longer have to necessarily keep track of staff hours and all the costs. We're actually going to make this more of a grant-based funding based on the students of enrollment. So once you send out your school notifications, you can say, we sent out the notifications to our 232 seniors, and then you can submit the request for funding, and we will then turn it back around and transfer you the funds. Those funds can be used for any related costs in terms of college and career exploration activities. So if you want to do a college field trip and need to pay for a bus or pay for lunch, use it. If you want to go to the school counselor conference, use it. If there's any activities, we've loosened up the strings and you decide what those activities are for you to use your funding for. And I should say, of course, you still have to go through your school decision-making process. I can't give you free rein, but I can give you free rein from the OHE perspective. All right. That was a lot of information really fast. Are there any questions before I jump over to the college side of the equation for a few minutes?
Meredith, we have some questions in the chat.
Excellent. I can't see the chat, but go for it, Sally.
First, Nick asked, how does this relate to and work alongside with MCIS?
Oh, MCIS. I love the MCIS. Sorry. I work a lot with MCIS. And so the Minnesota Career Information System, much like any other kind of personal learning plan or college and career exploration tools you use, has a lot of information, some of it which is actually provided by the Office of Higher Education, that can help a student explore their options and kind of explore their plans post high school. So we're hoping that you use this alongside with that, with those tools. I don't know if you have a specific question of how they're gonna relate exactly.
I mean, I guess I was just sorry to interrupt. I was just curious. You know, are they gonna link from one to the? You know, you're in MCIS, and then is it gonna be like, all right, hey, let's just go right to direct admission and get this, you know, rolling for this college, or how that works if they're connected, or otherwise you just have the systems going separate. Is what it sounds like.
The systems are currently separate, but we could explore that for a future year. Absolutely. MCIS is built by an outside vendor called Into Career, so we'd have to coordinate with their staff to do development though, so that's going to take a little bit longer. But yeah, I can definitely follow up with their staff. And why am I blanking on her name? Tracy Valentino. I'll follow up with Tracy. Yeah.
And then just for clarity, because I think I heard you and it was such good news, I want to make sure I heard it correctly. We won't be doing the itemized spreadsheet. We will just be we'll receive the 5,000 for our 456 seniors.
Yes, you have to confirm notifications are sent, and we hope that you do the first data transfer, but then yes, we are not going to do the itemized notifications. Our finance office didn't like how much paperwork we created for them by doing that, so they told us not to. And I think that's great for everyone involved. So we're going to go with that. Yes, that one deserves a big clap for any participating high school that had to do it. And by the way, if you are a participating high school, this is a good chance to remind you that you likely have not billed us for this year, and you should. The final bill must be in by July 10th if you want to receive any of the funding we put aside for you for this current school year. Other questions in the chat, Sally?
Does this mean students don't need to use the Common App?
Oh, that is an awesome question. Students can always use the Common App, and we are running a little bit behind, so I'm going to just say students can always use the Common App, but this definitely can take the place if they're applying to a Minnesota college or university. Absolutely.
And then yes, the communication materials are available in other languages: Spanish, Oromo, Somali, Hmong, Vietnamese, and Karen. And we can expand that if you wish. We will be sharing the recording in the deck. And then Meredith, is Naviance going to work this year?
Oh, we didn't have a school that really wanted to test Naviance out last year. So yes, if you want to test Naviance, I will put aside time, and we have some funding that we can likely help you get that set up and running with the embedded survey. So just reach out to Sally and I, and we will follow up. Absolutely.
Do we need to have electronic transcripts?
I'm just going to tell you, how do I say this? Electronic transcripts are preferred. Given that Minnesota does not have a universal transcript, though, every high school's transcript is a little bit different, but having the scan and having them available via whatever electronic means is definitely more useful to colleges, given just the paper involved. You don't have to, but if we can front fund those costs for you and move you to e-transcript, we would love to do that. And I have a whole nother PowerPoint on why we need a whole new universal electronic transcript, because it will save you so much time and money in the long run, but we'll save that for another day.
And actually, it looks like we had some more questions about it. So can you talk more about the automatic transmission of transcripts? Because the Hopkins only sent them when the student actually applied. And then somebody else asked if the transcripts are sent and what the counselor role timeline looks like for sending those.
So we're going to go ahead and tell you know that electronic transcripts are changing this year. Last year, we assumed that all schools should send them immediately when the student chose their direct admissions colleges. That is not happening this year. So this year, we have given colleges the option of identifying when they want their transcripts to be sent. And so we will actually provide you a list of which colleges would like transcripts. Some colleges actually don't want them till the end of senior year. So we'll take those colleges off your list completely. As of, I did this, I actually have this in an Excel spreadsheet. It's about, I can't give you that. There's about a dozen colleges that would like them early as possible. And then the rest would like it either after the application has been completed or at the end of the senior year. Yeah. So just a heads up. We are going to just jump ahead. Colleges, your work is actually delayed. Most of your work will be signing the data sharing agreements or amendments to the data sharing agreements you signed last year. And then we will work with you to set up the admissions, the admissions application question and finalize data file processes and specifications. And again, we will also work with you to order promotional materials to share with staff so that all college staff and community partners know that you are a direct admissions college. And then again, as the letters send out, high schools will transfer data, and we're trying to do some automatic data transfers this year to again, offload the burden from you to us. And that data transfer, that automatic data transfer will also apply not only from high schools to OHE, but OHE to colleges. So we're trying to streamline this and speed it up. And again, you will get a more detailed version following up. All right. I hate to tell you we had a fun quiz, but I kind of wasted your quiz time. With regards to the communications, the video playing difficulties. But Kat or Sarah, I don't know if you were going to run this. Do you want me to turn it over? Are you good? Or should we just put the link in the chat and let them know that as you answer the questions, you can qualify for a prize?
Yeah, I can introduce the game. So we just have this game here. It is a 10-question quiz, and we have college swag bags prepared for, it's only prizes for high school counselors. I apologize to the college admissions people who are joining us, but yeah, we have some awesome college swag bags. So the top 10 participants who answer this quiz will win a college swag bag, and we'll mail that out to you. So our top 3. So let's see. Oh, is the, okay, yep, it's in the chat.
I'm sharing screen, right? Thumbs up, you can see the quiz. All right. So the first question on your quiz is, who is eligible for the Minnesota DREAM Act? Your second question is, which private college in St. Paul is the oldest institution of higher education in Minnesota? What percent of Minnesotans age 25 or older hold an associate degree or higher? We are one of the more highly educated states. I'll give you a hint on that one. This one should be a job performance one for OHE staff. What does the FAFSA stand for? I will tell you, none of us ever get the words exactly right. And if you take the quiz, we can announce the winner at the end at 4 o'clock. Which Minnesota college is known for its strong emphasis on sustainability and often referred to as EcoU? It was also the first college to admit women. I love these questions, Kat. According to SLEDS, what percentage of high school graduates enrolled in college immediately after completing high school in 2021? And it should say what percentage of Minnesota public high school graduates. This is a Minnesota specific question. And if you know where Minnesota Sleds is, you can look it up. By the way, if you Google MN Sleds, it will come up. It should. And not just pictures of sleds. Which college is famous for participating and hosting events for the annual Art World event? The Minnesota State Grant is money that students have to pay back after graduation. True or false? According to the Bureau of Labor Statistics, the median weekly earnings for full-time workers with a bachelor's degree was X% higher than those with only a high school diploma. The fun part about this question, and this is a nerd point because I'm a data nerd, the gap between high school diplomas and bachelor's degrees actually reached its maximum point in 2021 during the pandemic. The maximum gap. And what was the first state in the United States to create a successful direct admissions program? And I did not include that in the slide deck. So, all right. Submit your answers so Kat and Sarah can declare a winner at the end of our hour. All right. Cool. All right, next on our agenda, I think, Sarah, I'm turning it over to you.
Yep. So I will just introduce our spring communications toolkit. Oops.
We're seeing the quiz.
I am not a co-host on here.
Oh.
So I cannot there. Yeah, can you make me a co-host?
Make you a presenter. Try that.
Okay, there we go. All right. So
you ever think about whether WebEx should be a college course? This is what I want to know.
We need a crash course. All right, so I'm just sharing my screen. This is just our regular OHE website. So where you'll find the items, you'll just go under Outreach and then Direct Admissions Minnesota. And then this is all of our information about direct admissions. And then we have direct admissions resources right over here. So this is where we placed our spring 2023 materials. You'll find the link to the main direct admissions video. We are recommending that you introduce this video in either like a junior class meeting or a homeroom time, just so we can make sure that all the juniors are informed before they go off for summer break. And then we also have these digital materials. This is a flyer for high school juniors, and you can just click and download each of these. Here's one that's specified for parents. We do have sample letters, one written for high school juniors that you can just click into and download, and then just fill in your information here. It does have a link included and QR code for the video, so you can share that with your students. And then also a parent one. And then we do have another flyer right here that just lists all the participating high schools and colleges. And this is customizable to where you can place your logo here and use it for anything that you need just to promote the program. And we are in the midst of getting all of these materials translated to our 6 languages. So right now, yes, we are doing Spanish, Oromo, Somali, Hmong, Vietnamese, and Karen. And I know we have a lot of new high schools participating. So yeah, we do want to collect additional language needs. So we'll talk about that a little bit more in the breakout rooms, or just feel free to email over your requests too if you have a high language population that you need. But yeah, so that is the Spring Communications Toolkit, and this is a place that you can look for in the fall as well. We'll have all of these materials updated as we go, so you can get used to seeing it all on our website.
Thank you, Sarah. And then we have one final resource. We have some student testimonials that we've put together in PowerPoint format that will be available. These are, it's always hard to talk and share at the same time. Click buttons. Thumbs up so you can see my screen. Thank you. So there's a number of student testimonials that we got from this year's participating high schools. So as you encounter a student who has a great story to tell next year during direct admissions, please refer them to us so that we can document how much this affected them so that we can show what the impact is for students overall in Minnesota. So this is Ashley from Richfield. We also have Cade from Cloquet. And Cloquet introduced direct admissions during their college applications event. So that kind of seniors application day where all the seniors came to the library and filled out their applications jointly. That was a great event for them to do direct admissions at, and it worked out wonderfully. We also have Charisma from Richfield who went to Hamlin, Alan who went to St. Thomas, and now we are going to break out. But these testimonials will also be available to you. So now we're going to go from our big fishbowl to our little fishbowl, Sarah, and this is where I'm turning it over to you as well. So you have been pre-assigned a room by region, and you will have an OHE staff member to facilitate. But we are going to ask you some questions. If you are a last year participant, what advice do you have for new participants? For all participants, what excites you about next year? Is there anything that worries you? And what information or resources do you wish you had? So Sarah, you tell us when. Can you not do it because you're not a co-host?
Yes, I am calling on Kat for this if she is able to separate us out. All right, here we go.
We'll meet back here at 5 till. So moderators talk quickly. It'll take just a second. There are 250 of us, though. All right, we're almost there. Kat, can you remind me? Oh, am I breakout 1 or am I Metro 1 or Metro 2? 1? Yay. Welcome back, everybody. We'll give it another few seconds for all 255 of us to get back in a single room. I think this is the largest WebEx I've ever done, though I know Kat has done a lot bigger probably. All right. So we want to make sure we close out with some great news. We haven't really the legislative information has not really gone live yet, but we have some exciting news for you, which some of you know about and some of you don't. 2023-24 is going to be a game changer for Minnesota. Why? So for your seniors that are going to be applying to start college in fall of 2024, here's what you're going to see. You are going to see a new FAFSA with fewer questions. You are also not going to get the FAFSA until January 1st. It is not October this fall. It's going to be January 1st of 2024. And there's going to be fewer questions. In addition, they say that the IRS data transfer is going to be automatic and there won't be double logging in, but I will believe it when I see it from the U.S. Department of Education. That's all I have to tell you. There will be increased funding for federal Pell Grants. There will be increased funding for Minnesota State Grants and DREAM Act students. Increased funding for Indigenous youth and former foster care youth. You should also know that as of this weekend. So the legislature agreed to increase spending for higher education by $650 million. Part of that includes a new program called the North Star Promise. The North Star Promise is going to guarantee free tuition fees at any Minnesota State College and University, University of Minnesota, or tribal college for all students from a family with an adjusted gross income of less than $80,000. It doesn't matter if they take one class, one credit, or if they take 18. Free tuition and fees regardless. So this is going to be a huge game changer for Minnesota. You should know this is in addition to the institutional financial aid that many of our colleges, including our private college partners, already give out to low-income students. And so this is kind of cool. This is the first class that's going to have that free tuition and fee guarantee in Minnesota. You should know it also applies to current college students. So if your students this year are seniors who enroll next year, they might end up paying for the first year, but then if they have an AGI of less than 80,000, they too will qualify in their second year. This also applies for adults. So if you want to go back for education and training as an undergraduate or someone in your family or your neighbor does, please note that they too are eligible if their AGI is less than $80,000. We have one of the most flexible programs in the nation now. We may spend $400 million in a given year, but I can't think of a better way to spend $400 million in a given year than helping students go to college. So Minnesota is college ready. That's going to be my new slogan. And 2023-24 seniors are definitely going to be part of that game-changing initiative. So in terms of conclusion, I'll ask Wendy if she has any final remarks. So I can't see her on camera, or Kat or Sally or Sarah, or anybody else on the group. We want to thank you for joining Direct Admissions, and please note that our success would not be possible without you and your students. And look at that, it is 4 o'clock on the dot. How is that for on time? And you will all of us get an email about follow-up steps in the next few days. But Wendy, I'll turn it back over to you.
I will just echo the thank you and share. Sorry, do you think of something else, Meredith?
I did, I forgot. So one of the big announcements we have for you is that tomorrow the governor will be issuing a press release on direct admissions, and your schools and colleges will be listed as part of that program. So you may get some follow-up calls, or your principal and superintendent may get some follow-up calls from your local media. Please do not hesitate to reach out if you need additional information or just want some help on what to say. We are happy to do that, but the governor, hopefully we are still on track for that press release launch tomorrow. Sorry, Wendy, I forgot about that.
No,
now back to you.
Thank you for sharing that. I think that's an important thing to share. The last thing I'll just add is that assuming that the governor signs our bill, which we believe he will, we will also be looking at hiring a dedicated position for direct admissions moving forward. We also know that the hiring process can sometimes be slow, but we're hopeful that at some point this summer you'll get a communication from us introducing you to another name and another person that will be a contact point for this program. None of us are going anywhere, but maybe shifting some responsibilities. So stay tuned. Always lots of updates that will come throughout the summer. And again, we're just so glad to have you all as part of this process.
So thank you, everybody. And we hope this year is as fun for you as it will be for your students. If not, let us know. We'll make it fun. And I know, Sarah and Kat, I forgot to ask if we had a winner. Apologies. Are you still tabulating results?
We have some ties, so we'll be able to
Excellent.
figure it out. Yep.
All right. Well, thanks, everybody. Have a great afternoon, and thank you for joining us on this Wednesday.
Can I ask a question about transcripts if somebody's available to stay on?
Yeah, Charles, I'm happy to do so.